Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Utility Sports. And I know today's video a little bit different. We're talking about the NFL again here. I'm also in a different setup right now. I'm at my girlfriend's place. So a little bit unplanned here with this video, but there is breaking news in the NFL. So I do want to cover it. And as you can see here on the screen, breaking. Deebo Samuel, star wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, has requested a trade out of San Francisco following an all-pro season. And this comes after a few really key things. But of course, this is getting reported by Jeff Darlington here on Twitter. So there's a lot to break down in this. Again, if you guys are new to the channel here at Utility Sports, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We are nearing 10,000 subscribers, and we would love for you to be a part of the crew here at Utility Sports. So let's move into kind of exactly what's going on here in this. And as you can see, Ian Rappaport reporting, he says the 49ers have been looking to make extension offers for a long-term deal with wide receiver Deebo Samuel, but he's been unwilling to engage in those offers specifically because he feels like he hasn't been valued at the level that he really should be. Unclear where this goes, according to Ian Rappaport, but Samuel wanting out is the latest in big name wide receiver drama. Of course, there's a lot of other big name wide receivers right now that are just not happy. Terry McLaurin from Washington, clearly not happy right now as well with his extension numbers. And then you can also look at AJ Brown in Tennessee. And I think a big reason for this is Christian Kirk. I think actually the offer that the Jaguars gave him kind of reshaped the wide receiver market and is actually spreading and starting a lot of this drama right now, because wide receivers like Terry McLaurin and AJ Brown and now Deebo Samuel go to their agents. And they actually all have an agent together. And you look at the situation and they say, hey, if Christian Kirk's getting this much money, we deserve like $27-28 million, and teams just aren't willing to pay that, especially when they are paying a quarterback. So it definitely does make the situation difficult. And the 49ers don't have a pick until number 61, as you can see here as well. So a trade for Deebo Samuel would likely bring them a first-round pick. I would have to guess. If it didn't, that would be a terrible trade for them. Just given his age and currently how great he is, they would have to at least get a first. So here's an actual trade that I have thought of that I think does make some sense for both sides involved. And go follow us on our Twitter. There'll be a link in the description for that. And I tweeted here, the New York Jets should offer pick 10, which is the 10th overall selection in the draft, and a day 3 selection, whether that's a round 4 or round 5 pick, to the San Francisco 49ers for the star wide receiver Deebo Samuel. And the reason why I think this makes sense is I think New York's going to strongly consider a wide receiver at pick 10 to begin with. And there's still going to be a great crop of wideouts there if the Niners wanted to replace Deebo Samuel with one of those. And then they also get a day 3 selection, whether again that's round 4 or 5. I don't think 6 or 7 is enough to get it done, so I think it would have to be a round 4 or 5 selection. But pick 10's high value. It really, really is for Deebo Samuel. But given his age and his productivity, it makes sense. And then you also have to consider where the New York Jets coaching staff came from. The offensive coordinator was part of the coaching tree there in San Francisco. Of course, Robert Saleh. We know he came from San Francisco. So all of those coaches there from the coaching staff are associated with Deebo Samuel. They would know how to utilize him, and he would be a perfect fit right into that offense. So I think the Jets are the most likely landing spot, honestly. They were in on Tyreek Hill. They've been in on AJ Brown reportedly. The Jets clearly looking for more wide receiver play, even though they brought in Corey Davis and Elijah Moore last year in the draft. And Corey Davis, of course, through free agency. The Jets, I still think, are interested in another wideout. You add a guy like Deebo Samuel, you have a really formidable trio. And honestly, I think the Jets would be in really good position with a trade for Deebo Samuel because they still have pick 4. And I think this is probably one of the strongest offers the 49ers are going to get. Not very often you get a top 10 selection for a wide receiver. We look back to Stephon Diggs when he got traded to Buffalo. The pick, of course, ended up being Justin Jefferson, but that pick was in the 20s. So the fact that you could get maybe pick 10 and an additional selection is really good value here to me if I'm San Francisco. Now, for them, I think San Francisco should prioritize trying to keep him and, again, keep calling his agent, trying to get a contract extension done, because it's hard to replace a guy like Deebo Samuel. But I think a trade, if it were to happen, I think this is probably the best offer they could get on the open market. And I think the Jets would be willing to do this as well. Give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the very next Utility Sports video.